to order. It's Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. It's 4 p.m. Lindsay, could you take a roll, please?
Crete?
Here.
Nemec?
Here.
Bigot?
Here.
Beeson?
Here.
Rupp?
Move to excuse.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Sackett?
Here.
Benashak?
Here.
Four present.
Okay, stand for the pledges of allegiance. I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'd like to take on two changes. I'd like to make a motion to replace the Environmental Affairs Community Development Department resolution under Petitions and Communications, Receive Work Program, authorization to apply for and to accept material management grant, planning grant, with the revised resolution distributed to commissioners prior to the meeting.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the next one, I would like to make the motion to add a presentation by the Bay County Road Commissioner regarding the assessment of current conditions and identify needs for the facility as the first item underneath Petitions and Communications.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain now a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So move.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from 8/5/2025.
So move. Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Any changes, additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time in our meeting, it's time for public input. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address the commission? Going once, going twice, public input, going three times. Public input is closed. Under petitions and communications, item A, a presentation by the Bay County Road Commission regarding assessment of current conditions and identified needs for the facility. So, Jim Lillo, welcome.
Thank you. More for those who can graduate also. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. If you don't know me, I'm Jim Lillo. I'm the engineer manager for the Bay County Road Commission. As part of the management team at the Road Commission, it's basically our duty.
Do you want to go to the microphone?
There we go. Like my voice needed any more audio, but management team at the Road Commission, we need to not only assess our roads, our bridges every year, in fact, all the time, but staffing, equipment, and the facility itself, the physical part of our property. And recently, more than recently, it's come to our attention that based on sizes, costs, things that we use every day, our trucks, our excavators, all the other things that we own, there's a definite need to get them inside. Right now, there's a good chunk of our fleet that is being stored outside in the weather. A lot of our equipment is being stored outside in the weather. So last time, I think we figured 1970s was the last building that was built. Obviously for something a lot smaller, and you will see in the presentation for equipment that was a lot smaller then than we have today. So for those that, way too quick on a clicker. Just quick, this is a handout I gave everybody. The buildings I'm going to talk about today are 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, and 12. In the yellow highlight, those of you who don't know, we are located out on Beaver Road, right across the Spring Hill Golf Course off of 13. The buildings that gave each a handout of this, and then the one where we are proposing to construct a new building, so you don't have to go back and forth in your packet, so that when I talk about certain ones, you'll know which ones they are. First off, all of our current conditions. Building number 2, truck storage. It's jammed. This was built as a cold storage unit. Originally was converted 5-6 years ago to something could be used for storage, concrete floor, ceiling, forced air heat. Thing that does not include is fire suppression, which you're going to find is a common theme throughout this presentation, which pushes our insurance costs up, and quite honestly, optically would be devastating if we would have a fire and they found out we did not have a fire suppression system. A big expense for a building of this type. Overall condition's great. We've, most of the buildings you're going to see today, we the Road Commission and before me have taken really good care of. Condition based on use, fair to good. The lower right picture of the truck next to the back end or the dump portion, that's 10 inches. That's it. That's how close that our equipment is being stored. Trying to get between there, if you're much bigger than me, and in fact me even, is a struggle. Our guys, and you'll see in the next picture, which is our main truck storage, the bottom right also is an aerial when she's packed. It looks like there's a lot of room there. There actually is not very much. The trucks are 10 inches apart, front to back, and on the sides you've got the lower scraper bar, and in some cases wings that stick out even further. So if you do the math and you put a 4-foot walkway between everything, there should be 9 trucks in there, not 12, just for access for our employees, for safety of our employees, and trip hazard and everything else that you get into when you pack something in there that close. Again, no fire suppression. One goes, we're going to lose the whole barn. This one is heated, everything else. Again, the overall building is in very good condition based on use. In our opinion, poor because of the access and the ability to get around the trucks. 1, 2, 3, and 4 pictures. These are buildings 6, 7, and 8 on the map. These are kind of, they almost seem like leftovers. They're located between the garage and our sign shop. They've been used for a whole bunch of different things at the moment. One is being for some equipment. There's some patchers and some other things that we store in there. The second door is our tire shop, which I'll show you in a second. Third and fourth. The third is a building. The fourth you can see is kind of like a shed in the backyard, just a little bit bigger, that's been used and abused and not in the greatest of shape. All 4 of these, or these buildings, 6, 7, 8, we are proposing to demolish them to make better traffic flow through the facility, and just the fact that they are not in good shape. One's heated, or number 2 is heated, the rest of them are not heated, and have, again, no fire suppression. Tire shop that's in there, it looks spacious in these pictures. The pictures don't do it justice as how cramped it is. They're mounting, dismounting tires, very good size, big tires, and there's not a lot of room in there to do it. It's low, the ceilings are low. There are 2 trucks that are service trucks that go out on the road to service things that break down when the crews are out, and they're both in there, and there's not a lot of space between them either. Our graders, $400,000 to $500,000 machines. are stored in an old salt shed, probably 60s or previous. No ceiling insulation, gravel floor. You can see the slats in the lower left are really close together to keep the wind and weather out. But they're undercover, and that's about it. If you store things, you don't like to store things on a gravel floor or a dirt floor, the moisture just eats up the undercarriage. So unfortunately, this is the only building we have that we can get this equipment in. There's graders, and our loader is in there also. This is the other stuff. The parking lot, if you want to call it that, behind the mechanics garage, all of our pickups sit outside. We do not have room to put pickups in the buildings anywhere. So we have a bunch of pickups. Usually there's a number of, our plow trucks are also out there that are stored outside in the yard. There's electrical there for the diesel to keep them warm in the winter, so they start. Employees have to go out, they have to clean them off, they have to, it adds time, it adds money, plus the fact that they're sitting outside year-round. On the left, or on the, the right side, that's all the equipment that we don't use in the winter. Plow blades, the spreaders, other things that are attached to either the graders or the plow trucks that we have no room for inside. They're on pallets, but in the lower right, you got hydraulics, rust, or hydraulics, the rubber on the hydraulics subjected to sun, wind, water, rust, electrical sitting in water. Not the best for equipment that is a good, there's a good chunk of change sitting out there, but there is no place to put them indoors. I should go back one, sorry. With a new facility, the two buildings you saw first, number 2 and number 3, will be for this stuff. Not the pickups, but all the stuff you see sitting outside. That we'll be able to install pallet racks, put the stuff on pallets, put it inside where it belongs, so it's out of the weather for the rest of the, for when it's not in use and not sitting outside. Just to go through a quick history of what was then and what is now. It was interesting, even AI had a hell of a time finding a old truck that I could take some dimensions off of. But basically, we found 26 foot long, 8 foot wide. We're now at 29 feet long and 10 foot 8 wide. 3 foot, 2 inches wider, 3 foot longer, 2 foot 8 inches wider than those buildings were designed for. And you can see if you look close between the cab and the dump, where the exhaust is almost touching the new ones because of emissions and exhaust and all the stuff that the EPA requires. That distance has grown, and it will grow again as new EPA requirements are coming out that'll probably make that distance even more. So we're going to be closer to 30, 29 and a half, 30 foot long for new trucks. Then we have these. Went to these a few years ago. The previous truck adding wings, one on either one side or both sides, which widens them even more. The length doesn't go up. They're still 29 feet long, but they go to 10 foot 11 inches to 11 foot 2 inches wide. Again, adding, it may not sound like a lot, 2-3 inches, but you add it up across 3 or 4, and and you've got to get your body between it. Trip hazard. It's just, they're very tough to get between in the storage facilities we have now. Just truck costs, and this doesn't even go back to the orange one. 2016, they were $220,000. We're at $325,000 in 10 years. $105,000 difference, 48% increase. One wing is $370,000. Both wings are running right at $400,000. So each truck, $400,000. I was told Hampton's buying a new fire truck, which is $850,000. So 2 of those would equal one of their fire trucks, just to put it in perspective. This stuff's expensive, it's got technology, it's got all the computer stuff, all the other stuff that you need to have, in our opinion, have inside and under some control conditions versus having them sit outside. This is just a quick overview of our facilities, licensed vehicles, anything that's licensed, including the trucks. We've got about $15.7 million in replacement costs for those. Non-licensed vehicles, the excavators, loaders, Durapatchers, that's the one our bandit that basically sprays the oil and puts stone on top of it to fill potholes. We get about 10 million in those, and then equipment that's sitting outside is 6.6, round numbers 32 million worth of equipment assets. Going back to this picture, using those numbers, the current condition, basically the summary is fairly straightforward. Increase in equipment size, less can be stored inside. No fire suppression on the buildings. Buildings are not being, a lot of them are not being used as originally intended. And we've got a lot of expensive equipment sitting outside. Just in that photo, and I did not count the two lowboy trailers, the tractor trailer at the bottom, nor the excavator, there's $2.7 million, almost $2.7 million worth of stuff sitting outside. That the proposed truck storage, which we're getting to the meat of the issue, would solve. We have retained Swedish Johnson / Spicer as design build, and they have 90% plans completed. We do not have a final estimate. The previous estimate was at 10 million. We're expecting it to be 11, 12, depending on tariffs and all that, but we're going to wait and see. We're hoping it doesn't go up that much. But basically, we're on that other sheet of paper I gave you, the building is located in the southwest or southeast quadrant of our current location. There's more than enough room to get that building of this size in there. 100 by 300 is for truck storage, 30,000 square feet. Part of that will be office, locker rooms for the guys. We have electronic kiosks for time input, things like that, so that the bathroom, so that everything is self-contained. When they get out of their trucks or come in the morning, they can access everything in that building. 40 by 300, we call it a lean-to. I'm going to call it, might as well call it a lean-to. For the pickups and some other small equipment, and then the 25 by 80 foot automated truck wash, which we'll get to. Total building areas are just shy of 44,000 square feet. This is just a picture like you have in your, I gave in your packet. It'll be at the lower left of the facility. North is to the right. You can see the also building 6, 7, and 8 at the top demoed. There'll be no outside parking. That was the picture that I showed you where all the pickups and things were. And then the equipment that is on the pallets is next to building 11. Those will be moved into buildings 2 and 3. So basically we'll have nothing outside. This is just a quick overview of the same, to give you an idea of, this is the pre-engineered steel building. Main truck garage is the orange. Office up in the corner, it ends up being about 5.2% of the entire building. In red, the truck wash is on the west side of the building, and then the pickup storage, vehicle storage is on the east. Example of a equipment parking. You can see the trucks are all parked angled to out either door. We've gone back and forth on that. We need to get into that here, whether we park them all the same way or both, but it will store 23 trucks, 1 grader, 1 excavator, I'm sorry, 2 excavators and 1 grader. The pickup storage down at the bottom That's where we think we're going to put the other excavator. We can't quite get everything in the big building, but the smaller one is also got a heated floor, or will be heated and insulated. So again, it'll be inside on a concrete floor in a climate-controlled building. This is a rendering. Red, they just picked red. We have our choice of colors, so if anybody wants to put, I'm going to have red, I'm going to have green, I'm going to have blue, I can see that coming. But this is just a rendering that they did for us. This is the north side of the building, or the side that faces Beaver Road. The building itself, like I say, is pre-engineered. We have to have piles. That's what is causing the price to be slightly higher than normal. We're basically, the soils out there are Bangor Township swamp. Simply, they don't hold a heck of a lot. So we're going to have to put piles underneath the entire structure. But heated concrete floor, we're looking at the in-floor heat with the liquid, or the antifreeze pumped, so that the floor is at a constant 55, 60 degrees, insulated, roof, everything you would expect for a large storage facility of this type. Ventilation, air circulation, and most importantly, fire suppression. The small number 3 on the side is where the entrance to the wash bay is, and then where the truck number 1 is coming out is the main entrance down the middle. These are others. I actually was at the lower right, Gladwin County. I was actually at that building when it opened 20 years ago. It's a lot. Our building basically is going to look almost identical to that. Pre-engineered, the crown of the floor is in the center. Drainage would be off to the side. Power wash, fire hose, everything to be able to keep that floor very clean. This building has been upkept. Gladwin is upkept this very, very well. After 20 years, I was really amazed. Like I say, I saw it brand new, and it is everybody's as nice as it was when I saw it, 20 years ago. So, Ottawa and Grand Traverse. The only thing I was, the narrative at the top, just to give you an idea, Grand Traverse has a facility like this, and they are about 2/3 the size of us, meaning MTF, motor transportation funding from the state-wise. They are smaller than us, and they have a facility like this. Gladwin's about the same as, or Gladwin's 2/3 the size of us also. Ottawa County is about the same size. So this isn't, I'm trying to get across, these buildings aren't being built by just people like Oakland and Macomb and Wayne. These are, the reasoning and why goes across the entire board for keeping your assets, which we all are talking about, our asset management, keeping our assets protected. Current wash bay. Right now we have, number 2 is the door to get in. You have somebody power washing, and that's how we clean the trucks. And then if you're really adventurous, which everybody, number 4, you go up on that scaffolding, ladder thing, and you get the box and the rest of it clean. Not exactly the best scenario. We've made it work, but it is very inefficient, very manpower intensive, and it's debatable whether or not it depends on the person washing it. Do they do a good job or not? And then the holes, our machinery is subjected to a lot of corrosive, environment, the salt, especially in the wintertime. Letting it stay on there any longer than it has to is a huge detriment to our equipment. So, it definitely is shortening the lifespans. So, yeah, perfect. So we'll show you what the Gladwin County has one of these, and there's a bunch of them around the state. It's about 2.5 minutes long, but I think it's pretty cool. So this is by Hydrochem. You can see right away that the bottom blast comes on. We got the spinners. Sides and overhead. This is drive-through too, so the driver does not get out of the cab. Really want to do a water cannon just because I think it'd be fun to play with. But unfortunately, height-wise for our building's not going to allow it. We're going to have to, we're working with Hydrochem to possibly, I don't know if they've got a catwalk there on the left, but to get something up so we can get in the box better. So we're still, that's kind of still in the design phase. You'll see the water cannon here in a minute. This thing's pretty cool. And the truck that's in there is what we are going to go to. That's a live bottom. That is like a conveyor belt. We haven't got any of those yet, but that's what's coming. That's the next generation of plow truck, will be that type of truck. Which again is more expensive, but it does a lot better for salt spreading in that. And then it's got another bottom blast rinse. There's different detergents. You can add a salt neutralizer to this system. We found out the blowers are pretty much useless. Anybody that's had them basically don't use them. They're not necessarily, because this truck is going right from here into a heated building that it dries, and they didn't really do a whole lot for how much money they were spending on running the blowers. So, but 2.5 minutes. This one, the kid or guy doing it, 1.5 hours minimum to do the same thing that just did in 2.5 minutes. So water, manpower, all the stuff that you would associate with washing that truck they don't have to get out of the truck. More conducive to go in and use the wash and keep the stuff clean. Besides whatever we put in place to make damn sure they keep the stuff clean and run it through the wash when they're supposed to. One other thing about this too, our current wash bay, we store our vac-all. Our vac-all is the thing with the big hose on it that basically sucks out catch basins and digs holes and all that. We store that in the wash bay. I don't know about the rest of you, but if I was coming back from 12 hours on the road after a snowstorm, salting, I got to get out of the truck and move that one to wash mine. I'm just saying, I'm thinking that that's probably not what's happening a lot. This would make things much easier. Auto doors at both ends, drive in, drive through, drive out. As many times as we want. These are a couple existing Gladwin, like I said before, it's got one, and then the one in Grand Traverse, and that's right. Like I say, I put 10 to 15 minutes. You can stop in the middle of this if you have to get big chunks of mud or something off. Probably not salt, but if during the summertime when we're digging ditches and that, it could get just big chunks of stuff that if they have to get out and do something. But that's going to be, from what we understand, that's not prevalent or frequent. These are just, I threw these up here. I already talked about the fire departments having everything stored inside. Bay Metro, I was amazed when I talked to Eric Sprague. They could do 40 buses in 2 hours with one employee. It's fantastic. That is just cool. I thought that was cool. I mean, buses, of course, are square and nice and they go right through, but they don't have all the nooks and crannies that ours do, but that's pretty impressive. Agricultural equipment, farmers, you guys you've been out in the Thumb or anywhere, they've got huge barns to make sure that their equipment's inside. DWS is under us. more than happy to have them come over and use the thing too. Because this isn't just the equipment at our West District, this is for equipment of all 3 of our districts, the East Side and North, because they still have to come down here to get washed. So this is for the entire fleet, not just the ones that are located on the west side. And like I say, Department of Water and Sewer, absolutely. The other new building, I already talked about the concrete heated floor. Alleviate the congestion. If you want to get one of those trucks out of the middle of that mess that you saw 12 in, you got to move 2 other ones to get it out. Enhance the employee access. Like I say, it's tight getting into a truck when they're that close together. Increase the wash frequency, which is going to increase the time life cycle, fire suppression, and then getting the stuff out of the elements. Building costs, I did touch on a little bit. Again, 10 million. I'll straight up tell you, I padded it too. I'm hoping, and they are hoping, that it didn't go up that much. We were at $9,999 and $16 or something is what the original estimate came out. So we're hoping for something at 10.5, maybe 11. Like I say, we're expect the final engineer's estimate to know exactly what that number is by the end of this month. Financing. We're not able to bond. I did contact MDOT, a bunch of other state agencies, and if anybody hears of one, I would be more than happy to go after it. There is no grant, even low interest loans for public building. At least nothing for this. I've been in the grant business for over 25 years. I have contact. I can't find anything that we can even spin to try to get somebody else to pay for it, or at least part of it. Local banks, they'll do it, but you're ballooned or variable rate after 5 years. So you're at the mercy of whatever the market's at after 5 years. So and they start at a higher interest rate. And of course, while we're here, no, the bonding through the county, because of your favorable bond rating, is the best option. We've gone through you guys before. We're working with the same bond counsel, I think, even with Laura. It appears you have capacity. I'm just put that out there. I don't know, and I'm not the financial person, so I probably took a little liberty there. And then the terms of the bond need to be negotiated. You know, term of and or just how we work through things. That's expected. Did do 3 bonding examples using 12 million at 4%. Where the yearly payments. Found out that 20 years and 15 years were not that far apart, $165,000. And you save $2 million in that thing, interest. So actually 1.5 in interest. 10 years at almost $1.5 million payment, that's pushing it for us. Love to get it quicker, but $1.5 million it would be, Deneen, would be a real push. The 15-year though is very doable. So the term total would be 16.1, 4.1 in interest. Versus the 20 we were looking at before, that's 6.1 and 18. So there's, yeah, it is 2 million, I'm sorry. It is 2 million in savings by going 5 years or less. After 10 years, you can make additional payments if you so choose. First 10 years, you're locked in. After 10, you can make additional payments. This is really small. I apologize, but I've tried. This is something that, this is the bond commitments. So our bonds, we had bonds through the, I shouldn't say bonds, but they call them in the Drain Commission's office. Basically borrowed on time. We had the opportunity to work with the Drain Commissioner's office to do a bunch of bridges, which was fantastic because usually we have to plan for those and it's a 1 year, you got to spend it all. We were able to put these over 4 or 5 years. Turned out fantastic. The last one is this year. Deneen, correct? Yep, the last payment on that is this year. The other one that's out there is the one that you guys were gracious enough to approve for Midland and 3 Mile Road. So that's $765,000 a year. I'm sorry, 26, the last drain one will drop off at $114,000. So you add the 165 to the $1.6 million for a 15-year bond term, and you get the bottom line. 2027 through 2034, 1.8 million, sounds like a lot. It's doable. We basically have done Midland Road 3 years in a row at $2.5 to $3 million, and we're still able to hit all the rest of the numbers we need to hit to take care of the rest of the roads and the bridges in Bay County. We do not want to go backwards. That is one of the biggest things. We have an asset management plan for roads and bridges for Bay County, and we have stuck to it and have done very well with it and do not want to go backwards. So even though we would take 1/8 out, then of course it drops, but 1/8 out, we are still able to maintain the mileage and the bridges for the next 15 years. Unless, and of course, that's saying that we all have crystal balls and nothing goes to hell. So, in the financial history, I know this is really small. I just wanted, this goes back to '04 for 12 years on the right, or on the left, and then the last 10 years on the right. When I started, there were 76 employees. We were bloated. It was, we had, be honest, so through attrition, not layoffs, we didn't wreck anybody's life, we just did not replace. We got down to 54. We kept going and found out that, especially on the fleet side, the guys go out in the field, we got down to 31, 32, couldn't do it. We could not service the public to the level that we expected, or the public expected. So we do know where the floor is. We also got rid of 3 administration positions also. Patching, believe it or not, '04, 40% of what we got from the state went to patching. That's insane. Don't know why, but that's the way it is. We are at 8% right now because we turned some roads back to gravel. We've done a bunch of stuff. Townships have got millages. We are doing a better job of upkeeping what we have to make sure it lasts. Before it was 20-year, hey, we just paved that, it's good for 30 years, never touched it. I don't know, I don't recommend you doing that with your car. So, but we are up to where we should be. We have 367 miles of primary road, which is under our jurisdiction, so using 360 because it's easy, we should be replacing 18 miles a year in 20 years and start over, or 20 miles a year in 18 years start over with the one we started with, by doing crack seal, chip seal, and all the other things that we have in our toolbox to make sure that happens. And that has changed dramatically. That previous 12 years, 96 miles of chip seal, we're now doing, we did 354 over the last 10. And bridges doubled. 1.5 over 12 years, we're doing 3 a year right now, averaging. So I wanted just to give you some idea of what we have been able to do. So basically, cost-effective, long-term building to protect, reduce elements, you know, that are protect the equipment from the elements, reduce, in the case of the wash rack and that, time, water, all the other things that go with that, maintenance costs. Talking to Eric over at Bay Metro, mechanics like to work on clean trucks, and I would too. So it's, all that is, you know, embedded in this proposal. And I just want to, we're not out to build a Taj Mahal. We're out to build a practical building that lasts literally 75 to 100 years. And that's it. Damn, I still went too long. Excuse me. I didn't mean to swear.
Sorry.
wanted to keep it under because I figured I'd be boring you. Any questions? Yes?
I was wondering about the office space in that proposed building plan.
Yes.
Where's the office now?
They're in building 3. There is an office area for a foreman. I believe this office is mostly for the guys and for the general superintendent, who we expect to be out there more often than in our main admin office, because that's where the action's going to be. So,
I was just
yeah.
I didn't understand why there had to be an office out
Yeah,
there.
and that's something we can look at, quite honestly. I don't disagree with you on that. I'm kind of torn, but we do need some office, some type of space for, like I said, the general superintendent, the one foreman will be using that, because that's, like I say, where the action's going to be. There's windows in that office too, so they can see out and, be able to monitor who's coming in, who's going out. So it's more of having a presence out there too.
Well, you could have a camera.
We were going to have that too. So that's why I'm not, yeah. So this is fully security, where I'll have cameras. In fact, we just went through with our provider for cameras and for access. Not everybody will have access to the building. We badge in and badge out, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do.
Yeah.
So that will be restricted to certain people.
And then the other question is the demolition of those other 3 buildings. They're so bad that nothing can be done with them.
For flow through, and yeah, they're pretty bad. I mean,
How'd they get that bad?
they didn't take care of them. Those look like they might be original to the, that might be 50s, 60s stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, they're basically, it's not so much take care of them as they don't leak, but they've outlived what they were originally intended for, which I'm not sure even what they were built to originally, were they storage for vehicles or were they something else? I
just
don't have
wondered
that much history,
if they could be used for something,
Yeah.
fix them up a little bit and used for something else rather than demolished, that's all.
Yeah. So, yeah, we went back and forth with that. We did have an asbestos guy come out. There's none of that. So we were planning on doing that ourselves.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, no problem.
Chair Anderson?
I want to thank Jim. Back in March, you and I had a discussion regarding this, and we asked for about 5 different items, and you brought them here to the commission now. So I'd like to thank you for that. Now we have a better idea of what you're proposing. Back then, nobody really knew.
Right.
So thank you.
No, thank you for inviting me back.
Yes, you're welcome. And also, in regards of the length of your trucks and all that, Kathy and Vaughn and myself sit on the MBS board, and we just got a brand-new snowplow truck, which is 25 feet.
Yeah.
Well, it's 5 feet longer, so the federal government gave us several $1 million more to build a new barn for it. Okay? It was $1 million plow, and it's too big to get in our barn, so now we had to build a new barn to put that in there.
Yep.
And we just got a new fire truck, which is kind of high and big. That won't fit in the old building, so that's going to fit into the new building.
Yep.
So I understand what you're saying about trucks are getting bigger and wider.
Right.
So,
Yeah, this one too is for the big front plows. I didn't show that knuckle in the front that picks up the big front plow when we have a really big storm. Those are stored outside and probably will remain there. I mean, the steel on them and they're basically just a chunk of metal. However, they will fit on the trucks in the building, so we could be ready if there, Snowmageddon's coming, we can be ready, versus the guys having to get in the truck, go out and try to unbury them if it's already snowing. So that's going to be a huge benefit to us too, because the trucks will then be loaded with plow, with salt, ready to go, versus having to do that during possibly lousy weather.
Anybody else have any questions?
To pay off the bonds So your money comes in from the state road money?
Yes,
Yeah, and then that's where you pay off the bonds then?
yes.
So,
Yep.
but generally, hopefully a steady flow, but never know sometimes.
Yeah, it's, and I'm knocking on wood, so far this year, we're up almost 5%, which we didn't expect. And probably everybody in here is aware that we're saying something's going to happen in Lansing, which could definitely benefit, will benefit the road commissions tremendously. I will throw this out. The intent was to try to get ahead of anything that happened in Lansing, because the public's going to say, oh, they got a bunch of money, they're building a brand-new building. I would rather be started on or have it in the budget prior to that happening. Again, optics. We're going to catch it anyway, I'm sure, just because, but, you know, timing's everything sometimes.
The one question I also have is that we have several bridges that we got the list of.
Yes.
Yes, it was like $8 million worth around.
We got, right now, we're sitting at about 10 million.
Okay.
We got 6.7 million for the bridge in Calcallan on Fraser Street, the one that's just outside of, that came out of nowhere. I think it was Kildee's, one of the last things. See, we got that. Erickson Road will finally get replaced. That's supposed to be next year. I've been saying that for years, but there's 3 million there, and then we've got another $500,000 for Kaiser Tower.
Okay.
There's a bridge on Kaiser Tower. So yes, we actually have bridges paid for in the budget, or will be in the future budgets, next couple of years, yes.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Dockett.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today. So looking at the replacement cost table, you've got 6.6 million for equipment that's like not licensed, the plows and stuff. Is that all outside, 100% of that?
Yes, a good chunk of it.
6 million of it, maybe?
Yeah, it's hard without going through and
Inventory, yeah.
Not all of it is. There are things, for lack of a better word, stuck in corners.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so roughly between the 2.7 and 6 million, you get 9 million outside right now, outside or in building 10. That's kind of exposed to the elements. What is the expected lifespan extension from storing it inside?
There's actually the hydrochem, which this whole thing's actually not only from the standpoint that it's side, but the frequency of wash. You're talking 5-7 years.
Okay.
Or longer, according to a case study they did.
So 2 million a year roughly in savings, 10 million, so it pays for itself relatively quickly.
Right, yeah.
On a 100-year thing. Yeah, okay, cool. And I'm glad to hear, with the expected bond servicing costs, that there's no degradation in services.
God,
So
no.
That's
that
fantastic to hear.
I wouldn't be standing here if I was going to, I don't.
Right.
No.
So, all right, cool. Well, thank you, and yeah.
My question kind of piggybacks on Commissioner Dockett. Do you have an analysis of the cost savings? Do you think the cost savings are sufficient to make your payment for the bond? So that, because that's the question that us as commissioners are going to get from the constituents is like you mentioned, they got extra money, they're going to build a new building,
Right.
Do you have a number where we can tell them that, no, it's paying for itself, as far as paying for the bond?
Basically, yeah, because we had talked about, we're not going to order, we've ordered 5 trucks over the last couple of years. We're probably not going to order trucks again until this new EPA thing works itself. We did that the last time I was here for when they put urea, I think it was on. And we waited a couple years to make sure that all the bugs were out before we went out and bought more trucks. So, those won't be on the budget for the next couple years. But then, the other ones that are going to be washed, and the washing and the drying seem to be the key, or ended up being the key, because they're going right from there into that the big building, and the floor's heated, and they dry. They say they dry overnight easily. So you're saving all of that, the salt and all the crap is not on it anymore, and the savings just from that, I think the savings just from the water usage and all that for washing is gonna too. The other thing I was gonna say too is, like, the first thing in the budget, and Deneen and I have talked about this, the first thing that goes in that budget is this payment. And we work around it. That's what we did with the one you've got now, the $765,000. That is the most important thing we need to pay, period. So we are very confident that we can handle.
That's kind of my
Yes.
question, is kind of that you can do that and
Yes.
maintain the roads as you have been,
Yes.
that there won't be any,
Yeah.
cutting back on.
As
No, I mean, it
Best
makes,
as I can-
no, it
best
makes,
as I
it makes,
can,
it makes
yeah.
total sense. I mean, it's, I call it common sense that, taking care of your equipment is gonna make it last longer. I mean,
Yep.
with anything, if you take care of it,
Yep.
better, it lasts longer.
Absolutely.
And I was just kind of looking if you could quantify, a number that, yeah, we're gonna save
That
enough
was-
that it's gonna make most of that payment or half that payment or whatever, just
Yeah.
just to
And that-
get a feel
back
for
to
it. But
Commissioner
sometimes you gotta
Dock's-
spend the money anyway, I get
Yeah,
that.
400,000 a year.
we looked at trying to quantify that, because, okay, take a truck. In fact, the case study, and I apologize, I can send that to you, for Hydrochem, they actually took and bought 2 trucks and washed the one and just did basically what we're doing on the other one. And it was the 7 to 10 year, it was remarkably, I mean, the difference was unreal. You'd swear that this one came off the lot, and this one looked like it was ready to go to the,
Yeah, I mean, that kind of numbers to buy trucks, if you're going to add 2, 3, 5 years on all of them,
Right.
saves you a lot of money. Commissioner Dockett?
If I may, just some quick scribble math. If you've got $9 million worth of assets outside and they're 25-year assets that you've extended to 30 years, it's roughly $400,000 a year in savings. So that pays for itself 20 years on a $16 million cost, so.
Also, I know that radiant heat is very efficient heat,
yes.
and if the building is insulated, I put it in the residential settings. It's, it's all efficiency.
Yeah, the places that have it rave about it, because it dries everything out, and,
Yep.
there's nothing on there. Yeah, it was just quick, was in Gladwin County for a tour, just to see what it looked at, but they had stuff out for sale. They were gonna go do an auction. And if the back of a pickup truck cab, down at the bottom, if they're old, they're rotted out. Big hole, These things they were selling looked like they were brand new. You could hit them, I mean, the difference between what we're selling for auction and what they're selling, their stuff looked better than some of our stuff that was newer. It was unbelievable, the difference.
Anybody else have any more questions? Jim, I want to thank you for doing the presentation. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure if any commissioners want to ask any more questions, you'd be available. And
Absolutely.
And
tours.
and Jim has
Yep.
invited us all to come out and tour the facilities, and he can kind of show you firsthand on
Yep.
what's needed. So thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you to Alex, Lindsay. You got great people here. Miss Amber, some of the stuff we had. I mean, seriously, you guys got some really good people here. It was really a joy to work with them. So,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to receive that report.
So move.
Support.
It's moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item B, the Bay County Board of Commissioners resolution authorizing publication of notice of intent to issue bonds for the Bay County Pool Project. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, Bay County Sheriff, change to fee schedule to add LiveScan electronic fingerprints. Entertain a motion.
So move.
Support?
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, approve the purchase of a jail transport van for the Bay County Sheriff Office.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D is a revised resolution for Environmental Affairs Community Development Department. Receive work program authorization to apply for and accept materials management planning grant.
Move to approve.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Also, is anybody here?
Yes. Mike said.
How's it going, everyone? Hi. So I've heard other counties are sort of going together, but we're still on our own for this project?
Yes, sir, yeah, we
Yeah.
are still on our own. It actually sounds like our Eagle staff contact, DJ, had said that some of the ones that have combined together are kind of having some growing pains together. So I think it's still to our advantage to stay as one county.
Yeah, I think I talked to somebody from Midland, there was somebody else in that area, about 4 or 5 counties, so.
Did they find it to be a good experience, or were they having?
He didn't say really.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Have a nice day. Next, item E, Health Officer, item 1, agreement with McLaren Bay Region for the purchase of rabies vaccine and immunoglobulin. Did I say that? Globulin.
Move to approve.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, agreements with print and broadcast advertising companies for clinical promotion.
So moved?
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, Personnel Director, ratified collective bargaining agreements 2025.
Move to approve.
Support?
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those,
Sorry.
sorry.
How many does this leave us with left? 2?
No, there was one left, but you'll see that on the next week's agenda. So they've all been fully ratified from the union side. We just need one more
Awesome.
ratified by the.
Awesome, one left. That's great. Thank you for all your work on that.
Anybody else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, Recreation and Facilities Director. Approval to purchase and trade in golf carts for the Bay County Golf Course.
So moved?
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Kristen, do you want to comment on that a little bit?
Kathy has a question.
Okay, I think I'm sorry.
Kristen, are we making money on that, the golf course?
The golf course is doing wonderfully. We're on track for another 30,000 rounds. Our numbers going through the summer look really well, like really good. The golf course is in really good shape, only good things to say. About
good.
85% of our golfers rent a cart, and so golf
Yes.
carts are a good investment for our golf course. And this is, these are 2-year-old golf carts that are in really good shape, and it's a steal. And we'll be trading in golf carts from like 2001, 2002, so it's a good plan.
That's good. I saw that. Thank you.
So, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, Payables, General. Entertained motions?
Move to receive.
Oh, receive. Support?
Move to approve. Oh, I missed something. I'm sorry.
The analysis.
I missed finance.
H.
I'm going to back up here.
BH.
Start over again. Finance, item 1, analysis of general fund equity 2025.
Move to receive.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, update regarding Executive Directive 2007-11.
Move to receive.
To support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Information systems, item 3, information systems, service maintenance contract agreement for Vertiv cooling unit with Access Michigan.
Move to approve.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, item I, payables, general.
Move to approve.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, Office of Assigned Counsel, July 2025 report.
Move to receive.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, referrals. Any unfinished business? Any new business? Is there any need for a closed session?
There is not, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any miscellaneous?
Have an announcement. There'll be a POW MIA ceremony on the 19th of September at the Helicopter Monument at 7 o'clock. Everybody's invited. Come on out.
Okay, thank you. Any other announcements?
We're going to have another free vaccine clinic at the animal shelter, October 11th, from 1 to 4. There's also free microchips. We've been doing a couple a year of these events. They're really great for the public to get the vaccines and chips. And I also want to give thanks to my staff and volunteers. The last 2 weekends, we had 2 great events. Touch a Truck was last week at State Park. A lot of public services was out there. And we had a really awesome event on Labor Day weekend. We helped 500 families probably with Chewy. We want to give big thanks to, gave us a semi full of dog food and cat food. And we probably helped over 500 families. So it was a really great outreach program they helped us with. So just want to thank everybody on that.
Great. Anybody else have an announcement? Okay, item 15, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That's the longest.